What's good, family? It's ATL Day Ones. We are back in the building. That's Jarvis. I'm Tenitra. Thank you guys for always stopping by to check us out. Of course, we appreciate you on YouTube getting us over that 1,000 subscribers mark. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. And also, of course, after you subscribe, make sure you like us and follow us as well. Always great content that we bring you each and every day, as well as everyone on the Locked On Sports Atlanta network. And wherever you get your podcast, make sure that you check us out there as well. Tell a friend, and when you tell them to give us a 5-star review. We always appreciate you there as well. Now, listen, Jarvis, there are individuals in this class of 2022, this draft class, that we think might be some 5-star folks at the end of the 2022 season. Maybe Desmond Ritter, could be Drake, could be Drake London, could be somebody else. We don't know. What we do know is who came out of the 5-star class of 2021, who was 5-star. Now, what Jarvis and I want to say is this. We already know that's Kyle Pitts, right? That's a
Right.
given.
Yeah.
That's a
Hands
given.
down. Yep.
Hands down. But when we look at the class and kind of go back over their progression, if you will, and we talk about the fact that class might have been a little underwhelming, might have left some things to be desired.
That's a
So
little
we
bit. Yeah.
right, right.
A
Would
little
you?
bit.
And we know you guys probably agree with us. But the good thing is, a lot of times you do see players bounce back and course correct in year two. So our question to you guys, again, drop us some comments, let us know your thoughts. But I'm going to start with Jarvis and asking him what rookie from that 2020 class. I ask you two questions. So let's start off with question A: who do you want to see take that biggest jump in year two? So that's part one. Hit me with it.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna go with Adi Ogundeji. And
Okay.
here's why, because he was a guy that I really I got a chance to get a good look at in the Senior Bowl
Yep.
last year,
Yeah.
and I thought he was solid. He's long. He
Mhm.
has the length. He has the perfect size to be an edge
Mhm.
guy and be able to be successful in the NFL. He has the tools,
Right.
right? Because that's a lot of
True.
times that's where guys will have the athletic ability, but don't necessarily have
Mhm.
the tools to be able to put that together
Mhm.
to be successful. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
True.
Because a lot of people fall in love with the combine stuff, and a lot of people fall in love with the numbers.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
think there is something there with him
Yeah.
because he's such a humble guy, and
Mhm.
in the conversation, we covered his team for the past few years, and being
Mhm.
able to interact with him and be with him and have those one-on-one conversations about
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
game and what he's trying to do. I
Mhm.
think that's a guy that I would love to see to make that jump, because you saw glimpses last year where
Mhm.
he was able to set the edge in the run game,
Right.
and there
Right.
he's able to get home and
Mhm.
get to the quarterback. And but you just see that more, because
Mhm.
I was reading an article, and I think it had made a really great point about
Mhm.
rookies coming into the league and versus in that first year versus, and then the difference between that coming into their second year. Because when you think about the mindset, right?
Mhm.
The rookies coming into the league, the only thing they're focusing on: 40 time, vertical jump,
Mhm.
cone drills. That's
Yeah.
all they're doing. That's all they're doing. That's all they're working on. And when you actually think about it, that's not
Mhm.
necessarily football stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
combine stuff.
True.
There are certain drills that you have to do, in order to get better, because a
Mhm.
lot of times in that rookie year you have something to go off of.
Right.
And when you transfer from going to after your rookie season going to your second year, you're in
Mhm.
a system. You're learning your system. You're a second year in your system. You are
Mhm.
working on different things that that your coach wants you to work on, and you have a
Mhm.
trainer. More than likely, you're going to pay a trainer to train with him and know what the deal is or the ins and outs about being successful in the NFL.
Right.
And you're going to
Right.
work out with other guys in the league as well, who are
Mhm.
maybe at your same level or a little bit better than
Mhm.
you. So
Mhm.
there's always different factors about what goes into that sophomore jump, and I think
Mhm.
Adi Ungadeji is a guy I would love to see do that.
Yeah. And for me, the want to see make that leap from year one to year two is Richie Grant. When he was
Oh,
drafted in that second
whew.
round, Jarvis,
Say it
man, everybody
again.
was like, yes.
Amen. Amen. Whew.
Everybody was
A
so
lot of
excited,
shouting up
like,
in here.
man, right. They're like, oh, he is going to bring it in the secondary. This guy, 6 interceptions in FBS play. And like you said, first team All American in his conference. And we're thinking, long, athletic, speedy. He's got all of the talent there. But there's another piece, and I know you know this and can appreciate this because we were just talking to Desmond Ritter about this very thing, and that is learning the playbook and understanding the importance of knowing where you're supposed to be and really embracing how you fit into a particular scheme. And we heard Dean Pease mince no words
Yep.
throughout the first half of the season about the fact that
You need to know
Richie
what he's
Grant did
doing
not
when he get it
understand the
before he
assignment.
gets it on the field.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Like you clearly, did not understand the assignment. And then as time wore on, Dean P started to see the skill set and the talent come together with the mental piece there. So granted, he ends the year with just, with no interceptions, just one forced fumble and about 28 solo tackles and 2 passes defensed to his credit. But we were looking for a ball hawk. And the Falcons didn't get the ball hawk that they wanted to get out of him. So my want to, because I know it's there, even though right now, technically, he's listed on the depth chart second behind Dean Harlow. But really, what I'm looking for him to do is be that guy that we knew that he could be. Hopefully, the other piece there is this. A lot of times you're coming in as a rookie, if you will, and you're dealing with a defense in Dean Peace defense that
Not
literally
the
is
easiest
trying.
of these. Yeah, it's not the
There,
easiest. Yeah.
there you go. It's just not the easiest defense. So
It's not
so
Dan
we
Quinn to cover 3. Like,
not
you
like
know what I mean? Like, in
right.
different variations of it. Like, it's
Right,
not that
exactly.
at
Right,
all.
because that's what Dean Pease has been known for. He wants to disguise a defense, and in order for him to have adequate disguises, you have to be able to figure out what those disguises look like or what they should look like for you. So I'm predicting and I'm being positive and thinking, especially when we saw him trend up a little bit more on the backside of the last season. I'm looking for him to do some great things in this second season under Dean Pease. Now that also, as we say, let's just be honest about it, Dean Pease also has some better pieces that he can work with, which may allow him to also utilize that talent more effectively. Now, that's what want to would be. Jarvis's want to have a breakout season is Ade. My want to is Richie, but who Jarvis needs to step up their game in year 2 of the season or year 2 of their career, if you will, in this league.
But before I get there, I want to add another little piece of nugget because I want to give Richard Grant his due, right?
Mhm.
Like you were drafted to be the ball hawk, right? In the second round, to be that guy. That
Yeah,
was something that you did in college, and the Falcons were hoping that that would transfer into the league.
right.
How about this? Isaiah
Mhm.
Oliver gets hurt. Hey, go play nickel. Go play nickel cornerback.
Mhm.
Which, that's not that hard. You play man most of the time. No,
What?
that's where you get a lot
That's
of
what you make.
targets.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get a lot of targets, especially in today's game where there are multiple, not 2 wide receivers, but 3 wide receivers, 4 wide
Mhm.
receiver sets are on the field more often
Mhm.
than not, than
Mhm.
probably in the history of the league. So
Oh,
there
absolutely.
to be in a position where you didn't really know the defense, and then you have to
Mhm.
do a position change as
Yeah.
well. I'm actually pretty confident that we're going to see a bump.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he unseats Dean Harlow in that spot or
Oh,
Eric
yeah.
Harrison,
That's why I said
depending on what defense
technically on
they're
the
in. You know what I
current
mean?
depth
So
chart.
it
Yeah, I
depends on what
expect
defense they're
differently.
in on who he unseats. So,
Yeah.
but to answer your question though, the person who must, I
Yes.
think it's no secret who this is
Uh-huh.
going to be. It has to be
Don't make me laugh.
Jalen
I knew it.
Damn Mayfield.
Right here. Right here, Jarvis.
Law,
I'm with you.
please. You were
For the
drafted in the
love.
3rd round. Law, please. You have to show something. Dude, fight. Like at least touch him. You know, there were times where I
Right.
was sitting there watching film, going back and watch the games, and I'm just like, dude, how do you not touch the dude? You
Yeah.
couldn't even breathe on him. He was past
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It just got to like let me get to a point where I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I
Right.
want to see a play from Jalen Mayfield. I want to say, you know what?
Yeah.
He may have got beat, but at least he fought.
But he fought.
At
Yeah.
least he touched him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you
You
know what I'm
breathed on
saying?
him.
Like, at least he touched them. the mofo. You know what I mean? So I think that that's the guy that has to,
Yeah.
because if he doesn't show any improvement this year, that
Hmm.
is a red flag for Terry Fontenot, because
Yeah,
for
no
you to
question.
take a guy that a lot of people talked about, he couldn't play the position that he played in college, and
Hmm.
then you moved him down inside, and he looks
Hmm.
like he never played the offensive line position before,
Right.
and he just week in week out being called out as the worst offensive
Weakness.
lineman
Yeah.
on the field, and rated
On
out
the
one of
field,
the
nice.
worst offensive linemen in the entire NFL
Yeah.
who was
Yeah.
starting. I think that you have to be better. You
Yeah.
have to be better. You have to get stronger, get in the weight room, work out. You must. It is a must. It
Yeah.
is a must that Jalen Mayfield be better this year.
Oh, he has to. He has to, because one thing about Arthur Smith is he's going to want his running. He's going to want that run game to pick up.
It has
We
to.
saw
That's the
it
only
in
way
the
it's gonna work.
He does. We saw it in the draft class. We've seen it in the free agency class. He wants to shore up that run game, right? So that is a part of your job. You got to understand that as a part of the assignment. But on the same token, the good news is you do have some mobile quarterbacks, right? So
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ritter, whoever it's going to be, can buy some time, but they need you to help them buy some time too. So really get down there. Like, we can't have you. Like, this is a stat that I don't want to see next year. I do not want to see you rated number one in the entire league in a bad way, right? So I don't want to see you rated number one in the league at your position, assuming you stay at left guard, but at your position as for sacks allowed.
Ugh.
That's not acceptable. That is not
Right.
acceptable. And I don't want to see you, although giving him his credit, like you did with Richie Grant, giving Jalen his credit. He did a little bit towards the end of the year get better with the penalties, but you can't be sitting in the eighth spot of eight highest number of penalties.
That's a
Not
very low bar, T. I
yeah,
know. I mean, I understand I
right.
understand, but
But I'm
that is
just
a
saying. Well,
very
right,
low bar. Yeah, you're
right,
not
right.
asking much. Let me say that you're not asking a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, right, and you cleaned it up a little bit, but that is one of those things that we know certainly draws our ire, but that also draws Arthur Smith's ire, because the pre-snap penalties, that was killing the Falcons. That kills the offense, because you are literally taking, you're basically taking downs away. Like, you're moving the
Yeah,
chain
yeah.
in reverse, and
You
that has
behind the chains before you even
yeah,
snap the
exactly.
ball.
You got the there you go. There you go. So those are he is definitely I figured you would agree with me. And the funny thing is we didn't even talk about it pre brief, but I figured you would agree with me that yeah, that's a need to break out, if you will. But when we come back, because we want you and need you to stick around with us for the culture, we're gonna talk a little bit about a space that my guys love to hang out in. They get right in that space in more ways than one, and we're going to talk about it on the other side. So thank you guys for rocking again with ATL Day One. Join us on the other side, and we will tell you exactly what we're talking about.